Our son Andy has been on an extraordinary musical journey, and John Williams has played a really important part in it. Andy was diagnosed with autism when he was 3 years old, and it came with a whole host of developmental issues. He had a speech delay, he had language processing issues, a litany of sensory issues, a lot of difficulty with fine motor skills. Uh, it was a difficult challenge for all of us. When Andy came to us in the fourth grade and said that he wanted to play a musical instrument, we really didn't think that that would be possible. The idea that he could see a note on the page, know what it meant, translate that information to both his fingers and his mouth to play a brass instrument, and then do that over and over again in a way and make music, we just didn't think that that was something he could do. We steered him to the trumpet because it only had 3 valves, and we thought that was his best chance for success. And for the first of what would become many times, he really astounded us with what he was capable of. And he learned to play the trumpet. And he played in his school band in 4th, 5th, and 6th grades. And it was in 6th grade where the music director had put together a medley of John Williams tunes that really struck a chord with Andy. He really loved that program and loved that music.
The first time that I got to play John Williams myself in an ensemble was my 6th grade band. It was my final elementary concert, and we played this arrangement entitled John Williams Movie Adventures. That was a 5-minute medley of some of his greatest works, and playing that was one of the greatest experiences I had yet to date, and yeah, just getting to play that was a true joy.
Just so happens that September, the York Symphony Orchestra was doing a John Williams spectacular for their opening show. So I got 2 tickets, and Andy and I went.
I really didn't know what to expect the first time I went to the symphony, but it turned out to be one of the greatest experiences I had ever had and one of the greatest things I've ever saw in my life.
Everyone in the theater that night enjoyed the show. But nobody, and I mean nobody, enjoyed it more than Andy did.
Being in the crowd was so exciting. There was just so much energy in there, and just listening to the orchestra with the rest of them play my John Williams favorites in such an exceptional way. Like, clearly it was just spectacular, the full-on definition of spectacular. That one particular concert, I would have to say, changed my musical life forever.
He loved it so much that he wanted to go to the next show, which happened to be a classical music program with music from Mozart, Beethoven, and Haydn. And he absolutely loved that too. And the fact is, he's been to every single York Symphony Orchestra performance since then. And this was 5 years ago now. In the meantime, his younger sister had decided she wanted to play the piano, so we picked up a small electronic keyboard for her to learn on. And Andy loved to kind of play around on it, and what he really particularly liked to do was play John Williams tunes on it, tapping them out with one finger, Star Wars and the like. And then after we had gone to the classical music performance at the symphony, next thing we knew, Andy was tapping out Mozart and Beethoven with one finger until he got kind of frustrated with that. So he went and watched a couple of YouTube videos, and next thing we know, he was playing all of these pieces with both hands. And then he got pretty good at it. We decided maybe we should get him some lessons. And from there, pretty much everything took off. Went on to become the first chair trumpet in his middle school band and later in his high school band. He qualified for and played in the York Junior Symphony and the York Youth Symphony, again as first chair trumpet. His piano playing has been an incredible journey in and of itself, where he's been invited to play at several universities. He won a concerto competition. And he's hopefully on his way to continue his music education after high school at a music conservatory. And again, all of this goes back to that John Williams spectacular that he went to, and it just sparked a love in him for this kind of music, and he's been on this journey ever since.
When I look back on that show, clearly it was one of the most important dates of my life.
And I think that John Williams music will always hold a really special place for him and, of course, for us.